Constrictors, pythons, lizards, turtles, and amphibians. Thousands of them under one roof here in Omaha Sunday.
If you or someone in your family is in the market for an unconventional pet, I know Mike is, or if you'd just like to learn more about them, you'll want to be there.
I'm just keeping an eye on this thing over here. Herpetologist Dan Krull is here, and you got some friends with you this morning, Dan.
Yeah,
good to see you, buddy.
absolutely. Yeah, it's good
what'd
to
you bring
see
in?
you.
Well, you got the snake, and then you got it's a female.
Yeah, this is a female veiled chameleon. Her name is Camo, and she's actually a family pet, and she's going to be joining us. And I just set her up. I figured she could just sit there the whole time while we talk.
She's very calm. She's well
a good
behaved,
girl,
right?
Yeah, as long as you don't mess with her. The chameleons are a little bit nervous, shy animals, so as long as she's on a tree, she feels pretty good. But if you try and touch them, they don't really like it as much. But
they don't move around
there.
very much. They just kind of like to hang out.
Yeah. Well, their whole body is made to hang up in trees, up in the top of trees. If you look closely at her feet, her hands are actually what they call zygodactyl, and so her toes are split into a mitt, and then the fingers are fused, and she actually can cling to a tree. So what she does most of the time is sit around looking like a leaf and trying not to be noticed by birds or snakes that might want to eat her. So.
As pets, do they make good pets?
They make good pets in the same way that aquarium fish make good pets. They're beautiful to look at, but they're not really an animal that you handle very much like a snake would be, or some other types of lizards. They're more of a look at and interact with by feeding. And as long as we're talking about her, actually, I brought some of her favorite food here.
I love it when they eat.
Giant.
Do they have
Would you mind holding this snake for me while
Nikki, I think it'd be a great idea if you held this
You
snake.
look a little nervous. This snake will not bite. This is red. She's been handled by thousands of little kids. She's
Thousands of little
harmless.
kids, Nikki. You have
Completely
nothing to worry
harmless
about
snake.
here.
And actually,
Nothing
that
to worry about.
species, the western
Don't
hognose.
shake. Don't do that. You're gonna
Don't drop her now. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite snakes there. So the western hognose, when they're frightened, they actually just play dead. They don't bite.
They don't
so
bite.
They will not bite in defense of
Good,
themselves. So
good.
she's not going to hurt you. But if you could,
You're in good hands. Do you want me to?
Yeah, maybe he can help a little bit.
Nikki,
I'm going to grab one of
two
these
hands,
giant.
please.
Would you rather hold a giant cockroach or a snake?
No.
Okay, I'll go with the giant cockroach.
Does the
going with the
chameleon? Do the chameleons have personalities though? Like when you get to know them a little bit, you know what I mean? Do they have different personalities?
Strangely enough, almost any animal, if you get to know them enough, especially if you have more than one, which I have several chameleons, you'll get to know some of them are more aggressive, some of them are more laid back. They all have their little quirks. They don't have personality in the same way maybe a dog does, but they do have their little things. So this is a giant cockroach from South America. This is actually a baby. They call them dubia. That's one of their scientific names. It's an orange spotted roach, and this is like chameleon candy. So hopefully, she's a little cold in
Hold
here.
on, let's get a shot. There we go.
Yeah, if you can get zoomed in. Now,
Ew.
what she's going to do is she's going to shoot her tongue. Oh, she sees it already. She's going to shoot her tongue out and actually nab that cockroach from quite a distance.
Holy cow.
Boom.
Wow!
See that?
Whoa! Went after it.
Yeah, absolutely. And their tongue, in this particular species, is about the same length as the mid part of her body. So imagine her up in a tree. She's sitting there like a leaf.
Yeah.
Spider walks by, grasshopper lands, even a small bird, something like that. Shoots the tongue out, grabs it before it even knows that it's being eaten.
Wow.
So kind of cool.
Do you have anything to feed the snake that Nikki's holding? I'm sure she would love to feed the snake right now.
I actually have no idea what you just said because I'm just going to my happy place right now to get through this.
Just hang in there, you'll be fine. So the thing about snakes,
frozen, like her arms
especially
are
this
locked.
girl, when food's around, then they get into food mode. They're not like dogs. They don't recognize you. They're animals of reaction. So right now you smell like nothing to her. You're just a tree to sit on, and let her move a little bit.
I feel like she's not real happy the way she's being held right now.
If we bring food out in her presence, she's going to be looking for food, and then we risk getting bitten because she might go for the mouse and accidentally bite us. So I wouldn't do that like while we're holding her. But she eats frozen thawed mice, and in the wild, these guys eat anything. They'll eat lizards, snakes, birds, rodents, frogs, toads, anything they come across. They love to eat it.
Okay, I see some other boxes.
Yeah, I got a couple more things.
Anything
Here,
else?
you hold this. You take the snake. Come on, we got to keep the snake out. So the reason I brought her and the reason I brought this next animal is because they're both native to Nebraska. So now this is a box turtle, and then in the other hand here I have a Russian tortoise. Okay, so the Russian tortoise is from Europe and it's a vegetarian. The box turtle lives right here in Nebraska, and you might see one crossing the road. And a lot of people catch these and they'll give them lettuce and try and keep them in a box. I think that's why they call them box turtles. But this one is a vegetarian and makes a great pet. This one is a carnivore. So if you're catching box turtles and giving them lettuce, you're actually causing them to starve to death. So box turtles need to eat insects, meat, things like that in order to be healthy. So if you're driving down the road, you see a beautiful box turtle, you think maybe you'd like to keep a small turtle critter as a pet. A better one will be a captive bred Russian tortoise because you can actually feed it lettuce and it'll be nice and healthy. See, they're about the same size.
They
about
look-
the
Can we
same
show their
weight.
shells
similar.
a little bit?
Is it the shells? Yeah.
Turn on the other side because that's really the
that the
distinguishing.
the
It looks
differentiate-
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So this, no. You don't want that at home.
Well, you do. They make great pets too,
but you have to feed them properly.
Yeah, you need to feed them proper food and give them a proper cage. So again, turtles are amazing. They can eat like their weight in food every day practically. So she's going to eat worms, cockroaches, crickets, things like that. This guy's going to eat salads, and he eats mulberry leaves and dandelions and lettuce and stuff like that. So.
Can we talk about this expo that's going on this
absolutely,
weekend?
sure. Well, the whole reason that I'm here is because the Herp Society has 2 expos every year, and they've been doing it since 1993. Basically, there's a whole room full of people like me who breed snakes and other animals, lizards, turtles, things like that. And you can come in, the public's welcome, come in, take a look at the animals, talk to people like me, they'll answer your questions, and if you want, you can buy a cool pet and take it home with you as a pet.
It starts at 10 o'clock on Sunday. Do people need special permits to have any of these animals in Nebraska?
Nothing that's going to be sold at the expo this weekend is going to need a special permit. There are some reptiles and things that are protected in the state or that are illegal, but nothing that you're going to see at the expo is going to need a special permit.
And I would imagine this is a great opportunity for people if they wonder if their household is a good place for this type of pet.
Yeah. Imagine going to a zoo and being able to talk to every zookeeper, and not only see the animal but also talk to the person who's an expert on the animal, right? So you can ask a person like me who breeds Western hognose. You could walk up and say, hey, what kind of cage do I need? How long does it live? What kind of food do I need? You can find out everything you need to know before you take the pet home.
And the money goes to a good cause, right?
Yeah, the Herp Society is a nonprofit, and they actually donate a lot of the money to research and other projects like that help research and protect and conserve reptiles and amphibians. So.
I feel like the snake right here.
The snake away from Mike.
I think I've got a whole newfound respect
She's one of
for
my
snakes.
favorite snakes. So let's just up the ante really quick, because I know we're going to run out of time, and I don't want to miss this.
Let's not up anything.
I brought something big. So I think Jim's going to bring it over here.
Okay.
He's not just a pretty face; he's a member of the Herp Society too. Now this one's, hognose are pretty good for almost anybody. This one's a little bit more of a specialized pet. If you have the space and you have the commitment.
Listen, is that thing going to get upset because this snake's over here?
They're fine.
We don't need any conflicts over here, Dan.
We're not going to have any conflict, but we can pass Red off to James too if you want.
Do not need to have a personal encounter.
Yeah, grab the
What is that?
Now this is an albino boa constrictor. Now I brought the boa for a very specific reason, not just because she's beautiful and huge and would make you nervous.
She is pretty though.
They are gorgeous animals, and even the normal form without the albino is a beautiful animal. But boas have a bad reputation. People always talk.
Because they squeeze people.
They squeeze people to death, right? So the boa constrictor has this reputation for being this giant, dangerous predator. Boas are actually not too huge. If you can see, this snake is not big enough really to do any harm to me. And this is a full-grown adult female. Okay, so boas, they're not for everybody, but they are the kind of thing that you can keep as a pet if you provide it with the proper caging, the proper food. They're pretty handleable, as you can see. She's not aggressive. She's just like Red. She's kind of checking me out here.
I think it's that tongue, though, that makes me nervous. Because that tongue is just
Oh,
creepy.
and the eyes. There's a whole lot that makes me nervous.
And the mouth,
I gotta be.
and the
No
squeezy, the whole squeezy thing.
It's okay. They take a little bit to get used to. Not everybody's a cat person. Not everybody's a snake person, I guess. But if you'd like to feel her, she's amazingly strong. Go ahead and we can just stretch her out here.
I've felt those before.
Feel how strong those muscles
That's all
are.
muscle, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Dan, nebherp.org is a website that you can go to. Dan, put that thing away.
She's
bud.
just not getting
her?
supported. She's not getting supported. So
She's not getting supported.
this is her first time
I'm
on
gonna
TV.
need some
She's
emotional
She's a
support
little
this thing.
nervous.
I
so.
need emotional support.
We all need something here. Dan, thanks for stopping by.
No
It's this
problem.
Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, come out and see us. We'll have the boa.
All right, inspired by our visit with Dan, we want